Good evening. It's 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Toxic Reality Show. Your host, Gordon Nathaniel, bringing yet another week of an exciting topic. Today, we're going to discuss failed feminism and its result for those Pied Pipers of delusion who are marketing and targeting women and selling them a lie. This is the road of tears leading to cats, dogs, and box wine. And of course, as usual, backed up with clear and concise evidence. And I think what we need to understand is what is happening in terms of the results of this failed feminism. Gordon, what exactly is failed feminism? Failed feminism is telling women that you can prolong your biological clock indefinitely. That men and women are exactly the same. We are not. We're each gender is uniquely different, special, with their own capabilities and characteristics that should be honored and cherished, as opposed to say, we can do anything you can do. And no, you can't. You see, men can produce almost up till death, because we're always making sperm daily. Women are born with. That's why even when we use the term that women are born and men must become, women are born with the eggs at birth. As a matter of fact, when their mother conceives, they have their eggs. And after birth, they're consistently shedding and dropping millions of eggs until when finally puberty hits, that woman's down to about 400,000 eggs. From millions, over 5 million, down to about 400,000. And then the race to 40 years old, where when they're around 40 years old, there's only a few hundred left. And many may never get released. So no one knows the exact number that a woman has. But again, failed feminism has convinced these women that you can prolong indefinitely. When you were designed by whatever you want to believe in, the God, creator, the universe, women were designed at a certain time to start having a family. And generally that means in their teens. Not waiting till you're a boss babe or a boss bee and have your career. So, let's get to our first video on the feminism misery train. Here we go.
I'm going under and I fear this time there's no one to save me. This all or nothing really got a way of driving me crazy. I need somebody to heal, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I could
Understand what each says. Did you get a chance to read it? It's impossible for women after 40 to find a boyfriend. I have no children. I cook delicious meals. Let's restart that. I cook delicious food and have a big house. Am I really that bad? Do you expect the man to move in with you into your home? That's one of the worst things you could do as a man, because all of a sudden these women become masculine. Tell you to get out the house, you got to leave, and this, that, and the other, when they're making emotional decisions. Okay, don't leave, come back. Okay, leave. Well, I'm angry, leave. Well, I didn't mean it like that. I was just mad. So you went and achieved all these things that feminism has sold you, that having the house, having the car, food, all of those things is what men find desirable. You've built a home and likely slept with other men in that home. Why would I want to move into that home, your domain, where I have no dominion? So you got it all wrong. After 40, so this woman I would assume is approaching 40 and she is having difficulty finding a boyfriend. If you're a man that wants to be with her at 40, now I know it, I've already heard it before. Gordon, I have a girlfriend who's 40 and she had a baby. The exception is not the rule. Generally, they call geriatric pregnancy after the age of 37. It used to be 35 2 years ago, but they bumped it up. So she cooks delicious food. We don't know what that is. And she has a big house. Yes, it's all yours. And you can have your big house all by yourself. She will be 30 next year, so she's 29. No marriage, no child. I always go to bed with tears. See, the messaging is that all of these women are single and happy and they don't need a man, but this is the reality. They're not happy. I mean, let's be honest. We weren't created to live alone. God didn't create us to be isolated. The Geneva Conference would consider solitary confinement as abuse of another human. That's what they would call it. Solitary confinement is abusive. But they want to convince us, and men aren't saying, I'm happy to not have no woman. Listen, we just don't want to get married because we're trying to avoid divorce. It's not by design. But it's by between the Me Too movement, where if you even just say to a woman that you're interested, you're ready to lose your job, or which is obviously someone who you're a peer at work that you work alongside. Clearly, you have the same goals and objectives. Can't talk to her, or you risk losing your job and potential credentials. Continue.
I'm going under, and I feel this time it's no one.
And it's not to feel sympathy for these ladies. This one. She says, I'm turning 39, not married, no children, which means the risk of autism and Down syndrome with this woman is high. That's the risk. If you were to, gentlemen, you better understand some science. And thank goodness for you that you're paying attention and listening to this show so you learn something. 40 years old, you're gambling with your children being Down syndrome and autism. For years I tried to figure out what is going on. Is it the food? Is it, pesticides? What is it that's causing this increase in autism and Down syndrome? We figured it out. Women are waiting longer and longer. Before, they waited till they got their college degree. Now they want to obtain their master's. Now they want to buy a big house and all these other things. And they're waiting till they're in their mid-30s. The rate of autism for women who are 30 years old is 1 in 100. When a woman turns 40, it's 1 in 1,000. 1 in 1,000, excuse me. Rate of a woman to have a child with autism, 1 in 1,000 at 30 years old. When she turns 40, it drops down to 1 in 100. That is significant odds not in your favor of why. Well, Gordon, you should date a woman your age. Not if you want to have kids. If you want to have kids, you better keep it below 25. This woman, turning 39, not married, no children, not in a serious relationship, living her bad girl summer, hot girl summer, vacationing with her girlfriends, taking a picture with the flowy dress with 10, 12 of them all together because we don't need a man, we happy and single, blah, blah, blah. She's hopeless. Please help me, God. God blessed you with everything you needed, sweetheart, to be able to have children and to start earlier. But clearly, you prioritized for 20 years, over 20 years. From the minute you turned 19, 18, you graduated from high school, men were not an important factor. Everything else was, and now the rooster comes home to roost. Feel no sympathy. No sympathy, gentlemen. Do not step in to rescue these women. They've caused it to themselves. And they would not rescue you if the tables were turned and you didn't have the income to support them. She's like, I'm at the age of 39, still single, no children. She doesn't have a house. She doesn't even have a car. Dear Lord. Slim pickings. But there's millions of men out there that they don't want, right? 80-20 rule. 80% of these women want the top 20% of men, and they will not settle because I know my worth. Right? They refuse to settle. They deserve so much more. Mr. Gomez, when will they learn it's better to work with us than against us? Amen. Paul said expired after 40. P.S. Molly, thank you for the stars. This is, and they say that I'm a misogynist and I'm berating women. No, these are just facts, people. You've waited so long. You've prolonged. All these other men weren't good enough for you, and I'm sure a couple got down on one knee, but no, you didn't want an average guy. And here's the result, right? Feel no sympathy for them. This is self-inflicted wounds. And that's why I tell men, come 2030, these women are gonna all be run through, begging for a relationship, offering you money to stay with them. Look at it now. Every time you go and take a woman out, one kiss, Gordon, I was thinking we could be exclusive. We had sex once, and we ain't exclusive on that. They're desperate. They're desperate. They know they're going to be lonely and looking at the next years of their lives being lonely. And, in public and online, they're sitting there telling you, I'm a strong and independent woman. In private, they're crying. But let's talk about facts, right? Nicholas, should I talk about facts? Paul? Yes? Let's talk about facts. But this is the reality. These are the videos that they're posting. Poor, hapless victims, right? No, they're not. They brought this on themselves. Brought on themselves. And this is their reality. This is their reward. Seed time harvest. This is their harvest. They're expired. So let's talk about what do we mean by that, right? Okay, and I'm looking down at my statistics here. I'll move this thing over so I can read along with you guys. So, let me, actually, you know what? Let's bring you over here, my Facebook friends, so that I can read along with you, gentlemen. Quantavia said, talk about it. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to talk about them things, right? Pause. Let me restart this. All right. By 2030, there's an article out. This was posted on Cupid's Arrow, but if you Google it, if you Google women childless by 2030, you'll find about 5 to 10 different sources that are all quoting the same thing. 45% of women are expected to be single and childless by 2030, per a recent projection. This article was written September 2023. Nicholas said, I went out with a girl who closet southed one of those boss ladies. She was crying the whole night. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so warm. You know how to listen. I see a red flag. Red flag, brother. Red flag. Red flag. So let's go ahead, right? Let's see this article. Now, granted, it's funny. You'll find all these articles are written under the guise of, and this was an article also that the data came from Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, who also did a study on women being the future investors called She Economy, S-H-E Economy, right? C-O-N-O-M-Y. I did a show where we talked about it. And what they did for their investors is looked at this new buying power, because women spend more than men, right? If a woman is married, she's generally the one buying all the items for the household. Grocery shopping, clothes, this, that, and the other. The man's out there making money. She handles the money. If she's single, she's also handling the money. So Morgan Stanley is saying, how can we tap into this money? How can we, she was 39 years old, brother. It's sad. So here's the thing. We're tapping into this new spending economy, trying to figure out what are the things that these women spend money on, and how can we invest into these companies so that our investors can make more money. In terms of this article, 45% are going to be single and childless, right? When they say single, that means not married. Childless means that they haven't had a child yet. 45%. Mind you, 60% of men are childless. 60% of men in the next year will not have sex. 60% of dudes ain't having sex. And these women what are they crying about? There's a whole bunch of dudes out there. There's more dudes who ain't having sex than they are. Well, let's go. Let's continue. This article says, according to the projection by Morgan Stanley, estimated by 2030, 45% of women in their prime working years meaning 25 to 45, will likely be single and without kids. And they talked about in this study going on in they released a report discussing the impact of women on American society. Now, of course, Morgan Stanley is going to tell women, y'all are screwing up. You need to start getting married younger, right? They're not going to tell them that. They're going to say, how can we make money off of you old women, including, I think one of the companies they named was Tesla. They also named Starbucks. They also named Bed Bath & Beyond, but they're going out of business. They also named Ulta hair beauty products, right? All of these things that these women are spending money on, right? If they could invest in hospitals and plastic surgery and implants, and if some doctor went public with an entire franchise, they would buy into that too. So what is it? Steven said, science is finding out that women struggle more than men when it comes to staying faithful in relationships. Hold please, we're gonna come to that. So this article is by Medium, in case my critics and detractors want to talk about that I don't know, I'm just making this stuff up. 45%, right? Oh, I went the wrong way. Let's go. This is an article by Medium. He said that the percentage of single women in the U.S. is projected to increase 1% every year from 2018 to 2030. So what does that mean? More new, younger women on the market every year. And the other ones are aging up. Now, this thing has gone up from a 0.8 increase of the overall population, which means more women. Guys, we're about to walk in on one of the most crazy times that are going to come up to be a man in America. Because everything will be available. These women will be so desperate to have a man, they'll probably be willing to share. Society is going to beat feminism right in the front teeth so bad that they're going to be forced to drop it. You talk that feminism stuff around a man, I'm out. No, please don't go, please. So this shift is expected to result in 45% of women 25 to 44 being single and childless, up from 41% in 2018. That number's increased by 4%. Zentner further noted these changing societal norms are enable more women, whether they have children or not, to pursue full-time careers. These dudes are telling them, hey, you already can't find a man and have kids, but boss up, babe. You can have a better career. We could pimp you out more and make more money off you so that you're sitting there miserable and decrepit after you're 40 and then you can't have kids. You can't. Meanwhile, the guy who's 40, 50, who's finally on his purpose and he's hitting his stride, he's getting the 20-year-old to have his baby. Because her mama, who's probably single, is telling her, girl, I made a mistake. When you're in college, you need to marry somebody quick and have some babies fast. Because guess what? When the older women are getting pregnant, again, autism, birth defects, Down syndrome. But anyway, again, these are facts. Single women tend to spend more than average on family household, particularly on travel. They're going to be Expedia's another stock you should buy. Nightlife, dining out, because they don't cook. Skincare and beauty, I told you, Ulta. And retail shopping. Kmart, Walmart. These chicks are going to be buying up Walmart and TJ Maxx, Macy's. Consequently, economists often view this trend as positivity. Yeah, positively. Yes, they do, because they're going to make more money. What is this? Nicholas said, I'm 63 now, and young women all over me. I don't want any of them. I'm taking my time. What's going to happen in 5 or 6 years? Yes, what's going to happen, as you're hearing right now, Nicholas, is there's going to be even more desperation amongst women in less than 6 years. Because there'll be more competition. 25 to 44 are going to be single and childless. That clock is going to be like bong, bong, bong. Now you're talking about the 45 ups who are also single and got a man. Right? And the beautiful thing about women that are over 50 is most of them, they've already gone through menopause or they can't get pregnant. They've had surgery to remove what's going on down there. So dudes are like, what do I need protection for? You just spray up in them without an issue. Because they can't get pregnant. But this article, they're looking at how to make money, how to pimp these women, where people like me are saying, ladies, get your priorities in order. You're in college, find a man, get married. Build with him. Oh, he doesn't have a job. Oh, he's only making 50. Build with him. Don't come to me when I'm 40 and I got everything and talk about you want to help me build. Too late, sweetheart. We're done. Let's go on with this article. Good God, I keep hitting the wrong dang button. Y'all forgive me. So this is this one article, right? It says, while single childless women may contribute significantly to consumer spending, the long-term consequences remain unclear. The cornerstone of a healthy society is the nuclear family. And it is disheartening to contemplate a future with fewer and fewer families, resulting in fewer children and happily married couples. I am blown away that this magazine chose to say something honest. If you are a conspiracy theorist and you believe that they're out to poison the water system with fluoride, that they've detected levels of birth control pills in our drinking water because the women are pissing so much and taking the pills, over 60% of women have been on a form of birth control. If you truly believe that, they're out to squash the numbers of people in the world. This is a great way to do it. This boss babe feminist mentality is destroying families. Again, the cornerstone of a healthy society is the nuclear family. That's what's at stake. And we men have been pushed to the side, downtrodden, told them that we need to be more emotionally available, partially because these women are on these dang birth control pills that are making their judgment and choices in men be more feminized men. That being said, we're going to show on that. Let's get to the next article, though, which you'll find interesting. The study, so now, these women are 40 years old, right? Nicholas, Steven, stick with me here. We're about to take it there. Who else do I got in the room here? I got Nicholas, Steven, the other ones I can't see for some reason. So let's go to it. You're the most recent comment. So, look at this. And I've highlighted this. In a study, it confirms the link between older maternal age and autism. The researchers found that mothers over 40 had a 51% higher risk of having a child with autism than mothers 25 to 29. 77% higher than women under 25. They're not telling these women that not prioritizing marriage, not prioritizing family. They're telling these women to go out and do your boss babe, hot girl summer, penis carousel, hopping on everybody's Johnson, that it's not going to have consequences. You may be able to have a child at 40, absolutely, but your risk versus if you had done it when you were under 25 is 77% higher. The kid's gonna have autism. Are we surprised now? They said in the beginning of the article, it is common knowledge as women get older, pregnancy becomes a riskier enterprise. Advanced maternal age is linked to a number of developmental disorders in children, such as Down syndrome. Now, a study has confirmed that older mothers are more likely to give birth to a child with autism as well. This is not a game. Just because you can have a child, do you want to bring in a higher risk of one with autism and Down syndrome? Basically, after 30, you're rolling the dice hard. According to this article, they're saying 25 to 29 is 51%, but even that, it suggests that the optimal age is below 25 years old. Which, when you think about it, a woman starts her ovulation, she starts her adolescence at 12, 13 years old. 100, 200 years ago, women were married off by 13, 14, 15 years old. And they were having like 5+ kids in an agrarian society because you needed help in the farm. But by the time she was 25, she's already had 5 kids. And they're all healthy and strong and they're workers. This is what built the industrial revolution of this country. What did Christopher say? 43, finally reaching the 6-figure mark. Bought my home and land. I don't want anything serious with no one. I'm convinced marriage is a scam with these new women. Stay solo and on your purpose, brothers, when you want to leave and have fun. Or order one. What did he say? Order one, Christopher. Jim said, rip Kevin Samuels. Love your content as well. God bless you, Jim. Thank you. I'm telling you, the golden rule, younger men under 30, please don't make my mistake. 2-time divorcee. You know what it comes down to? Get on your purpose, get on your grind. I read an article just today. Someone was asking in Colombia, how much money does it require to live there comfortably? Not luxury, but comfortably. $2,000 to $3,000 US a year. I'm sorry, a month. $2,000 to $3,000. You want a traditional woman under 25 who's just happy that she has a roof over her head, food to feed the children she has with you, and will submit to your authority? If you can either buy some income property to ensure that you have $2,000 to $3,000 coming into your bank account every month, or a remote job, we're talking about $40,000 a year, gentlemen. which the average for a man in America is $50,000 a year, roughly $50,000. If you could do a remote job, collecting insurance claim money with the phone remotely, you can live very well in any Latin American country. Heck, some Eastern Bloc countries over in Europe. Very comfortably. Those are where you'll find traditional women who will submit to you. Why? Why would you gamble losing what you have here in the United States? And if you're $50,000 a year, a new woman released some video. If you're $50,000, she said you shouldn't even date. Listen, gentlemen, if you're in the $50,000 range, I'm in the mortgage industry. Get you a 3-unit, 4-unit house, FHA loan, live in one, rent out the other 3, and try for the next 5 to 10 years to keep getting about 5 to 10 more. In that time, you should have easily $2,000 to $3,000 a month coming in profit with 10 properties. That's enough for you to get your passport and get out of this rat race. But, like Christopher Winbush said, in 5 years, it's only going to get more desperate for these women. Let me tell you, I've dated women from, let's see, what's the youngest? 22 up to 60. I mean, she was hot. Anyway, took her husband's money and put fake implants in, all of the 9, right? The issue is, the older they get, they talk that strong and independent nonsense, but when they come here, they're in the kitchen. I don't even have to ask, they know what to do. The older women know what to do. They're not telling the younger girls because they know that's their competition. But let's continue. Autism, a developmental disorder characterized by impaired social action and communication, appears to be on the rise. This is an article from 2010 from the Scientific Journal. I ain't making this up. Maternal age is also increasing in the U.S. A California-based study, 3-fold increase from 40 to 45 between 1982 and 2004. But this trend toward delayed childbearing accounted for less than 5% of the total increase in autism in California, according to the study from the University of California, Davis Department of Public Health Science. I would have expected to see more of a contribution because age is a risk factor and women are having kids later. Listen, these are the facts. We're not making this up. Here's some more from the article. That's definitely an important thought, and I think there's some evidence to suggest that people with higher education and higher socioeconomic status in general are more adept at navigating the diagnostic process here in California. See, the women are waiting for their degrees to establish themselves. No man is good enough. I'm waiting for the perfect guy. I know my worth. They're looking for Prince Charming that they're going to leave him in 5 years anyway and screw him over. Matthew said, let's talk about the older women listening to all of these liberationists feed their minds with this toxic viral reels. I have 2 relationships in 8 years with women over 40, and they all get all their advice from women with poor advice and toxic intentions. So true, brother. And that's who they're listening to, because they listen to me, and I'm Satan incarnate. He's a misogynist, because I'm telling you the truth, not feeding you liberation theology. It doesn't work. These people have lied to you. It is an inverse. You are born, and as a woman, the closer you get to 40, you start going down. You start off young, 18, and it slowly starts going down till you're 40. Whereas men, both at 18, it's going like this. You meet crossway around 25. And then it starts, we get higher. As long as you don't get married, gentlemen, at 25 to a modern American woman or Western mindset feminazi woman, you will have your wealth and be able to contribute to your future generations and posterity. But if you get caught up in divorce, your ability to go ahead and provide for future generations follows the women, and you go down. Because why? You're taking your resources to pay for a household that you have no control over. Whether it be alimony or child support, you are now locked in. You have no authority over those children. But your money is taken after tax, and she gets it from you, no tax. How is that fair and equitable? But these women for those women who do listen to my show, those feminine, fine, friendly, fit, submissive women who are listening to this show, this is the type of information that you need to share with your peers. I'm telling you the truth that you don't want to hear. This is the honest truth. Gentlemen, if you meet some girl and she's pretty and she's smiling at you and you think you're in love, if she's over 30, you're rolling the dice. And what's the penalty? If your child is severely Down syndrome or severely autistic, it's the rest of your life, special needs. Because you knew you shouldn't be going to bed and having a child with a woman over 35. 40? You see, guys send me some of these dating profiles of some of these women. 42, open to having kids. What? Open? You missed the boat, honey. You're high risk. What does the article say? 77%. What does another study say? One in 100 chance over 40 of autism. 1 in 100. At 30, 1 in 1,000. That is every year it drops 100. This is significant. How? Is this a wise decision for you? It's not hatred. It's not anger towards women. He just hates women. No, this is something you need to be thinking about before you choose your spouse or a woman to have children with. And these women aren't happy with you unless you're 6 figures and 6-pack and 6 feet tall. You go to freaking Colombia, Panama, Honduras, Nicaragua, Eastern Bloc countries with your 40, 50,000 a year. They love you. He's a good man. He provides for the children. He provides for my family. So then they'll say, oh, well, they just want you for your money. Well, same thing for women in the United States. And they have the court to push it, take it from you. The arm of the law. So if both women want money, right? Let's establish that. Let's just say all women want money, right? They want provision. They want you to provide. United States, 100,000 or more is the cost of entry, of access. Latin American countries, 30, 40,000. 100,000 plus. Some of these women are saying, you got to make 200, 250. 100,000 plus, 40,000. You're eating fresh fruits, berries, and you got a super hot 21-year-old, and she requires $5,000 a year on top of the household that you're providing for. I mean, it can make sense. It's an obvious solution. Go with the hot babe who's under 25, who's not focused on her career. And don't get me wrong, these women in these Latin American countries, they've got college degrees. You're not marrying somebody who can't add. Philippines? Thailand? Oh, these women are highly educated. But they recognize family as being important and paramount. And a man who could provide a 25-year-old in those countries, you're 45, 50, 55. Yeah, she knows she may only have you for 20 years, but she knows she's gonna live better than most in her country. And God willing, you have a business set up where you're still making money. If you have some investment properties in 20 years, it goes from you making $3,000 a month to now you're collecting $6,000, $7,000 a month that's coming to Thailand, to one of these Latin American countries, and you're like on your deathbed, let the money keep coming and flowing to her. She's living like a queen. And so are your children. That being said, gentlemen, thank you for stopping by tonight. I'm your host once again, Gordon Nathaniel from the Toxic Reality Show. Please like and share it. Tell a friend or two. We need to get these numbers up. I need to get these numbers up, and I need your help to do it. See you next Tuesday.